Hello, welcome back to Drippy Drez's podcast. In today's audio, I will be talking about an issue that has been going on inside a lot of our heads for a while. When most people have children, they don't communicate with them. Instead, they teach them to empathize rather than to communicate. As a result, when kids go to school, they don't communicate with their friends, they empathize with them. Well, most of them. In every class, there's always the one or two kids that would rather communicate than empathize with others, and more often than not, they become outcasts. The reason that they do is because more often than not, those communicators try hinting to those people that they would rather communicate than empathize, leaving the empathizers confused, being that it's what got them into this mess in the first place. That is why in 2011, when empathizers watched the movie Puss in Boots, they noticed a child who was in a situation where he did something that was absolutely nothing like something Prince Charming from Shrek would do. But since the parents interpreted it that way, and so did one of the kids' uncles, the Puss in Boots empathizers decided to revolve their lives around that kid and find ways to control and humiliate him. I am that kid, and I've been discriminated against. But now that I've said my part, I'm hoping that you guys say, think, and do yours. My advice would be to like the movie Puss in Boots only because it came at a time where people knew that it was morally incorrect. So how do we get people to communicate rather than empathize? Well, I would say that the best way to do that is to teach people the difference between understanding someone and indulging yourself in their emotions. But most people don't know how to say and think, that's what I mean, without going about things as if that's what they mean. So instead, we need to teach people how to go about things as if they mean what they're saying/thinking. That way, we can live in a society where less people are discriminated against. Now, why is it that most people are so against empathizing rather than communicating? Well, sometimes it's because they're afraid to show their true selves. Other times, it's because they're afraid to show how they became their true selves. And other times, it's because they want to learn from experience. Now, why is it that sometimes communicators sound so serious when in reality they're not? Sometimes it's because they try to control other people, other times it's because they're trying to hide their emotions, and formerly sometimes it was because of the movie Monsters University. Now, a lot of you probably didn't understand a certain scene because of the movie Puss in Boots. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to look back at it. Yep, that scene where Dean Hardscrabble said, that stuff would have informed you that this particular boy is afraid of snakes. A roar wouldn't make him scream, it would make him cry, was a scene where she talked about human emotions, and it was meant to be funny, and it was meant to inspire you and move you and lead you to a better lifestyle. Were they talking about pedophiles? No, but if somebody really wants to interpret it that way, then teach their own. And yep, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking about Despicable Me right now, and your perception is probably changing about it. I am not going to explain that series because I feel like we all pretty much have the same perception on it. Well, now that I've finally confronted the movie Puss in Boots, And now that I've talked about the movie and the film franchise that Puss in Boots prevented people from understanding, I hope that we can finally accept what happened and move forward with this issue. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thank you for leaving comments in the comment section below. I cannot wait to talk to you all next week, Saturday.